Right, welcome back, everybody. Let's get into the regular trending topics of the day. So let's see what's on that list this morning. Goodness gracious, wow. Okay, we're going to be here for the morning. The Guptas, I mean, that's an obvious one. So the Guptas, big talking point when it comes to the Guptas and their arrest. I mean, we have been talking about this for quite some time. So we've got the Guptas that have been arrested in Dubai, and this happened yesterday. So the Justice Department have confirmed the arrests of Atul and Rajesh Gupta. There came 4 months, this arrest, after Interpol issued a red notice for them in connection with fraud and money laundering charges. Now, the reality is we're still, however, waiting to see where the National Prosecuting Authority are, because they need to make a compelling case for their extradition to ensure that the Guptas face trial here in South Africa. So it's still a very long way to go, but that's the big one to look out for today.
And of course, Duduzane goes along with Guptas, and questions now being asked about after the arrest of the Guptas, whether Duduzane will also be linked to that.
All right, Senzo Meyiwa trial still always being on top of the trends list there. It will for the duration of this trial. So that's something that we can always talk to. And of course, the state witness, Sergeant Thabo Moseo, continuing to testify this morning in that trial that's happening in the High Court in Pretoria. We'll be crossing to Griselda Lewis in the third hour of the program. She'll just give us a little bit of a recap of yesterday and, of course, what to expect today. But remember, the big thing yesterday was that Advocate Tefo tried to convince the court to halt the murder trial and to have a trial within a trial. He failed at that. And, of course, this is now business as usual. We hit back into the trial now. So that's what we should be seeing happening today.
Right, the next one, hashtag Thuli Madonsela, and all to do with what's happening at the moment, unfolding with the Guptas and state capture and follow-ups. And of course, there was, a quote from Brian Molefe. At least he was being quoted as having said that the reason we are here is because of a state of capture report of Thuli Madonsela. The report was a result of a meeting between Thuli Madonsela and Glencore. So not too sure where all of this, but it all ties in with what is happening with the Guptas and their arrest in the UAE, and of course what is expected to unfold next.
I know there was also, it was quite funny, there was a picture of Bonang doing the rounds, and there was a comparison between what Bonang looks like and what Thuli Madonsela looks like, and people were saying, hang on, what's a second, what's going on here? They're looking the same in this photograph. So that was also a talking point. And then there was an article, I know that Thuli Madonsela did, and I think it was with the Times, and she basically said that South Africa's youth needs financial and market support and land instead of education alone, and that was a big talking point too. So there's lots around him. I beg your pardon. Now moving on to him, and that is Ramaphosa, our president. And of course this is a big talking point as well with regard to still what's going on with the whole Phala farm issue and the money that was found and all these allegations. Well, basically, the development on that is saying that Ramaphosa has told the ANC's National Working Committee that he intends appearing before the Integrity Commission over allegations that he covered up the robbery at the Phala farm in Limpopo. So that's the one, and it's all got to do with Arthur Fraser and the criminal charges that were laid against the president in Rosebank last week. So that's still something. And then some people also asking the question, the arrest of the Guptas and what's happening with the president, Ramaphosa, coincidence or not? I don't know. We'll leave that to you, but I know that that's also one of the talking points.
The next one is Ngizwe Mkunu, and he, of course, the former Ukhozi DJ. So a bit of a back and forth between him and Premier Sihle Zikalala, who've laid charges. He laid a charge against the Premier for assault, and the Premier laid a counter charge against him for criminal injury over an incident that took place over the weekend. And he apparently says that the Premier assaulted him, and the Premier says Ngizwe has been basically insulting him at every given opportunity. So charges, counter charges being laid, that's where that one's at.
I think Justice Malala is trending over a piece that he wrote, again in the Times Live, and this was entitled, "If Fraser's allegations force Ramaphosa out of office, his faction will collapse and the state capture brigade will return." That is the content of this particular piece that Justice Malala wrote, and as you can imagine, the comments on all of this were making it for really sort of interesting reading, and many people are just talking to the fact, so what, we must just ignore it and let him get on and then just keep on doing whatever he's doing without any justice going in there. So, and people are just talking to this, Justice Malala trying to convince us that the new Dawn Brigade is better than the Butternut Head Brigade. It just doesn't make sense. Then another one, you guys really wake up in the morning and think, how are we going to insult the intelligence of South Africans today? And so on and so forth. And lots of comments on that particular column from Justice Malala.
And of course, Eskom, for the obvious reasons of, those notices that they send out telling us to use electricity sparingly, but they also put out a code red notice and saying that they urgently need new energy supply, but can only do so much with one hand tied behind their back by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. So interesting developments there, but pretty much what we've always known.
Wow, record amount of trends we got for you there this morning. So all of them relevant, linked, and in talking to the situation we find ourselves in. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Question of the day. I suppose this is the big one. We're all talking about it. So we're asking you as well. What is your reaction to the arrest of Atul and Rajesh Gupta? Happened yesterday. They're in Dubai. What do you think about this? That's what we're asking. We're looking forward to those responses on our Twitter feed.
All right, at Morning Live SABC is when you could send us those responses. But for now, let's take a quick break.